What's up, everybody? You're listening to episode 13 of EBPR, Everything But Politics and Religion. We'll talk about things such as snakes.
Yes.
PodCon 2017.
Yes.
New Year's resolutions.
Oh, yes. Yes, we will.
And most important of all, the United States Senate special election, because like the people of Alabama, they have to decide.
No. Whoa.
Roy Moore?
Nah, son.
Doug Jones?
Nah.
They rock the vote?
Yo, you lost me at Alabama because you know how most of those people think.
But it's it's the first state when you say the list of the states in alphabetical order. Like it always starts with like
Alaska, Arizona. Yes, I get it, but no, Jasmine, we don't talk about that here.
Fine.
It's not for us. Anyway, today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day trial at www.audibletrial.com/EBPR Podcast. There are over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Also, today's podcast is brought to you by Texture. Enjoy over 200 magazines anytime you want with the Texture app. Start a free 14-day trial today by visiting ebprpodcast.com/texture. I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Dez. Let's start the show. Hey, Jasmine. How are you?
Doing well. Living life living, How are you?
I'm doing good, however, despite me doing well, I feel like I got to call you out for something and I've been sitting on it for a minute, but I think it's time.
Wait, me? Like, what are you calling me out for?
Well, lately you have been shady as fuck.
Wait, me? Hold on. Where is this coming from, Des? What?
Okay, so I just want to shed a little bit of light for our listeners who are probably a little confused right now.
Right, because I'm a nice girl. I'm not shady.
You nice, but you definitely shady. And what's funny about this whole situation is that, like, you're shady because you keep trying to play me like I'm shady.
But you are shady, girl.
No. Okay. So anyway, right? So the other day, like, this is for our listeners. The other day, Jasmine and I are casually conversing, chopping it up business-wise. And Jasmine, being her shady self, casually mentioned that she can hear my under-breath comments when she's editing our audio. Now, for those of you who don't know, Jasmine edits the audio for the podcast. She does an amazing job. We love her for it. But she's saying that she can hear the comments that I make under my breath. And that is, like, I'm using air quotes, under my breath when she's editing. Now, keep in mind, I use a microphone while we're recording. So I'm very well aware of all of the things that I'm saying. And I'm not really saying anything under my breath. But Jasmine, being the shader that she is, thinks I'm a goddamn tree. She really thinks I'm a fucking tree. So she's editing audio and she hears, like, oh my God, seriously? And things of that nature. And she's automatically assuming that it's me under my breath saying these things while she's telling her stories because I think she's taking too long or, like, I'm not interested. And I can't because, like, I can't.
Look, okay. Thank you for the props for the editing. Because I get to listen to us have this conversation for several hours after we have it. And yes, I do hear your shade because it definitely,
oh my God.
You know how when somebody's talking and they're like talking and talking and talking and in your head, you're just like, oh my God, kill me now. Like you say that like under your breath. And I hear it. Maybe not the kill me now part, but the, oh my gosh. And it's just like, really? Like, was I just like running on? Like, I thought that was a good story.
No. Like, that's the thing. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. I have a mic. So if I know what I'm saying and I'm cognizant of what I'm saying. So if you hear, oh my God, it's me reacting legitimately to your story, usually in disgust or, disbelief, because I'm just like, oh my God, like, he really sent you a dick pic while you were at work and it came up on your screen. Like, so I'm just like, oh my God, because I can like imagine it. But you're over there like, taking notes, like handwriting emoji. Dez is being shady again. You know what I'm saying? I am not a fucking willow tree. All right? Like, I'm not that.
Are you sure? Because it seems like it. And then let me tell you, it is real cold under the shade of your willow tree. That is for sure.
I am done. I'm done.
I'm more done that you called me shady. Look, at least I said, like, hey, I hear you, shade. You are on a microphone. It is recorded.
But like, you must think that I'm a shade monster to think that I'm like going to be on a microphone all willy-nilly out here just throwing shade at my co-host who I know spends hours editing and doing the most.
You know, like sometimes the subconscious just gets away from me. And I was just, I just wanted to be sure that you knew what you were doing subconsciously, because I know what you're doing subconsciously because I hear it when I edit.
It's gotta be all those like isolated hours alone editing audio that makes you go crazy to where you're like, oh, this bitch, I'm over here editing and she talking shit. Like, what?
No, now look, come on now. I've known you for a long time and I know you keep it honest. You keep it 100% funky. Like, I know you have RBF. Like, when you are displeased, like you let it be known. And I just, this is an audio medium, so I don't get to see your face. I don't get to see your eyes rolling at the story, but I do hear the, oh my gosh. So that's why I just wanted to say, let's go ahead and break it down. Yeah.
Stop. Okay. Well, you know what? I feel like this brings up a really good point because I feel like the shade is often real. And I feel like we got to break this down. And I specifically have to break this down for you, for our listeners, probably for my family, maybe for my child. I don't know, because I have resting bitch face. Mm-hmm. Excuse me.
That RBF. Mm-hmm.
RBF. Mm-hmm. But I ain't no tree. And if I had to be a tree, I would be like a palm tree, right? So like I would be a palm tree because I ain't really providing that much shade and I'm up hella high and you can see that I'm actually a tree, but I don't do shit in terms of shading. So I'm not Willow status.
You guys can imagine my face. That my mm-hmm.
She's shading me right now with her face, but it's okay. It's okay.
Because, it's an audio medium.
Like I said before, shade comes in all shapes and forms. So we're going to break this down today for everybody. We're going to break down how I am not shady. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we're going to prove that, like a wise man once said, there's levels to these bezels.
Who said that?
Okay, so I wasn't expecting you to call me out on that.
Not shade.
B.O.B. said that. So maybe a wise man did not say that because he thinks that the world is flat or whatever he said. Slavery doesn't exist. Some asinine shit. But yeah, he said it.
See, that was unintentional shade for me. And that was hella intentional shade from her. Even though it was warranted and based on fact, because he does think that the world is flat and he doesn't think that slavery existed because he's never seen a slave ship.
Okay, so both those things are real. I don't keep up with this man. Like, he put out like 2 songs that were bangers, and after that I'm just like, nah.
And only one of them was because of Bruno Mars. But we're not going to go there. We're not. Yes, there are indeed levels to the shade. Maybe not bezels, but there are definitely levels. So let us go ahead and get into it. And my very favorite version of shade, intentional shade, not accidental, not that sweet kind of shade. That no. I want to let you know that you are being shaded. Intentionally.
Yes. So, okay, before we even get into like what intentional shade is, I just want to talk about what shade in general is so that everyone's on the same page. We're all using the same definition of shade.
True.
Because I feel like it's a term that's so loosely and commonly used and misused out here. We all need to be operating under the same umbrella.
Shady umbrella.
The shady. Oh, I see what I did there without even knowing.
But yes, please define the term shade.
According to my favorite but possibly appropriated website, urbandictionary.com. Yeah, that's some shade for urbandictionary.com because you get these Veronicas and Mirandas on there that be like, yeah, here's the definition for this. What's up, Black people? I know what I'm talking about.
Actually,
or whatever.
See, and that was yet another example of shade. Look, examples without the definition. Look at that.
The shadiest episode ever.
Oh, yes. Bundle up, y'all.
For real. No, you mean cover up.
That too.
So, according to UrbanDictionary.com, a light comment with slight disrespect towards an individual is considered shade. And don't worry, because there's an example.
Okay, good. What is that?
Here we go. Rose threw shade at Mona when she said there isn't a guy in her degree program Mona hadn't kissed.
Ooh.
So, okay, Jasmine. So we're about to break into intentional shade. Would you say that example is intentional shade, or?
Yes, I would say that is intentional shade. Even though I don't know who Rose was talking to, if Rose was talking to Mona or a third party, Rose likening Mona's dating habits to the number of men in her degree program, like it's shady. Like that isn't really something that you would normally comment about, and especially not in that way. So I think she was intentionally shading poor Mona.
Yeah, so essentially Rose is shady as fuck. Rose is definitely the Jasmine in this situation.
Stop.
So it's intentional. It's intentional.
Okay, do you know of any like clear identifiers to know that yes, that shade is intentional? What clues you into that?
So usually, okay, intentional shade, I feel like it's often, people often say, oh, I'm not being shady, I'm being direct, or I'm being honest, or I'm being something to that effect. So if anybody ever prefaces what they say with that, they're about to shade the shit out of you.
Yeah.
And honestly, depending on who you ask, intentional shade, it can be anything, because listen, you thought I was being intentionally shady with my under breath comments, but I wasn't.
So, but I want to be clear that I'm labeling that as unintentional shade. Like, I'm pretty sure your subconscious was shading me. The conscious Dez knew she was in front of a microphone.
Anyway, yeah. So I think intentional shade, like you kind of can see it coming, right? Like you kind of know as someone is like starting their sentence or they're midway through their sentence and it hasn't quite come out yet.
Yes.
You're like, oh, I see where okay, it's coming. And you're preparing mentally like, oh, am I going to hit it back? Am I going to knock it out the park?
Am I going to be hit by it and just be laid out?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I liken that to like those Vine videos where they would like flame people. And if you don't know what that means, that's when like the people would like rub their hands together and it's just like they're winding up to pitch, and then they would just like point their fingers at whatever is the poor thing in your game.
What are those?
Exactly. Like what are those are the boy.
If you don't get your love.
Yes.
Yo.
Big head, bad hairline, dusty shoe, like any of those, like all of that wind up. That's how you know whatever's following it is shady.
I just need to take a second to like state that I appreciate your use of the term flame, right? Because I definitely, sometimes I say that to people and they're lost. So I think that might be a Midwest thing. I don't know. But also just like, I have to appreciate the wind up and the fact that you drew attention to that, because that's my favorite part. Like, especially in like high school, middle school, when someone would be like, boy, if you don't get your love, I'm like, sitting there, popcorn, chips,
like, here we go.
Flaming hot Cheetos, like, what's good? What's good? Rico about to get lit up. What's good?
Flame on. Just like, yes.
Flame on.
Yes, indeed. All right. So when I think of intentional shade and the wind up, like it doesn't always come with like the hands or if you don't get your, like there are some, the levels, of course, the levels. So
levels.
My favorite example of intentional shade is the granny shade. Like,
Lord.
My grandmother was like the queen of intentional shade, and it always kind of had a wind up, but you didn't know it was a wind up unless you knew her. So you would think that it was just her being sweet or just her just being a cute little old lady. But no, once you've heard it a couple of times, she's like, oh man, whatever it is, oh, she about to get him. So my grandmother, her two things, and this, my mom does it too. I find myself doing it, like, oh boy. And it is the
Yo, I get it. Like, I get it. Just, yo, because I swear to God, that is like every granny, especially a Black granny, signature move. They be like, with that look.
Like with the up and down look, the what is she wearing?
Or the look to the side, the real quick out the corner, like, I ain't even gonna look at it, baby. I ain't looking.
Yes.
Jesus be a raft.
Jesus, take all the wheels. Thank you.
Take all of them.
Yes.
Lord, I can't.
Oh my gosh. And then, okay, so my grandmother's second one, which we know like the that goes across like multiple families, but I think this one might have just been like my grandmother's signature move.
Oh God.
So I'm gonna set the scene. My grandmother's in a recliner. She's watching TV and somebody is performing some music on TV. That's not Christian music. So be it country, be it R&B, be it some rap, hip hop, whatever it is, somebody's doing something. And my grandmother would say, when you get to my part, you can sit down or you can turn that off or you can be quiet. Like that wind up of when you get to my part.
Right.
Just like, oh shit. Oh no. So one example, my brother, he break dances and he's a self-taught break dancer. So like amazing. Just like round of applause to him. Cause I'd have broke my neck a long time ago trying to do the stuff that he's doing. Like,
right.
Like keeping it 100. My grandmother didn't have time for any of that at all. So when he would be in the living room, be just like, oh, let me show you what I know how to do. She would say, when you get to my part, you can have a seat.
Oh my God. Yo.
Yes.
And so your brother's out here like, yeah, Granny, look at what I can do. And she says that and he's like, damn.
I'm just going to go back to school then. Okay.
Right. Oh my God, your granny's shady.
Like when any of the grandkids or like some of the grandnieces or nephews would come over and they were trying to sing her a song and she wasn't having it. When you get to my part, you can hush up now. It's like, no. And that's why I gave him a singing career. Thank you, Grandma.
But it's, oh my God, but it's so original though, because I've never heard anybody say anything like that before. So shout out to your granny.
That's for you, Julia. That's for you.
Oh my God.
All right. But okay. So my grandmother, that's her signature move. What about you? Does your granny have some signature moves in her repertoire of shade?
So, okay. My granny was very direct, but like she was direct in ways that like I didn't even realize till I was older. Right. Mm-hmm. So like, here's the prime example. I remember one day I was like preparing for homecoming and my granny came over because she like wanted to see me off. This was in high school. Aww. And I came up and I'm in my little, I'm in some tight clothes. Like I'm in some tightish clothes, but it's homecoming, like whatever. Right. We didn't have like the homecoming dress thing at our high school. It was just like, okay, you wear something kind of nice, kind of flashy, whatever. Okay. Really club wear. That's ultimately what homecoming was. At our high school, it was like you showed up in club wear, but you couldn't have certain types of straps, and like you had to hope that the teacher that you liked was there at the door, so they'd let you in regardless of what you had on.
Did you say homecoming?
So, you know what?
That's what
I didn't say it, but I said homecoming. But you know what? What you're saying is dead on. So let's just go with that.
Not shade.
So, see y'all, see. Anyway, she comes by it honestly because her granny was shady, so you gotta cut her some slack. So I come upstairs in my homecoming outfit, and I was like, "Granny, look!" Or no, I was like, "Grandma, look!" And so I'm looking, I'm like twirling, I'm doing my thing, like I had my hair flat ironed or whatever. Back when I thought that was popping, and she looks me up and down, and she's shaking her head, and I'm thinking she's giving me the head shake of like, "Oh yeah, girl, you out here looking good." And she goes, "Girl, you out here looking like a Jezebel."
Dang.
And me, in all of my like 15-year-old glory, like I knew she had said this before, but I didn't really put two and two together, especially because she said it in such a positive way. Right. So I'm like, all right. Yes. Granny said I'm out here looking like a Jezebel. So knowing damn well I didn't have the word Jezebel anywhere in my vocabulary, to really understand what she was saying. I was like,
looking good.
I'm a Jezebel.
Is that like jewelry, like a bejeweled bezel or something like that? That's what I would think if I didn't have like the biblical reference.
Right? I was like, oh yeah, because I'm like, it sounds fancy, right? Like Jezebel. Like, all right. And I'm wearing something shiny. Okay, Granny, you see me. Little did I know that she was low-key calling me a harlot, calling me all types of hoes, which is fitting for homecoming. But she was direct with it. You know what I mean? That's that granny shade. It's like the shit yeah.
Yeah. That intentional shade, but not, look, everybody, I'm about to flame her. Just like, no, like, this is between me and you. Get your life together.
It's between us, baby. And you're going to feel it.
Right.
But you're not going to feel it till later when somebody explains to you what the hell Jezebel means.
Right. And what the hell I mean about when you get to my part.
Right. Yo. I'm gonna start saying that. I'm gonna start saying that. I'm like, well, listen, when you get to my part, you can turn the shit off.
Yes. Were you in the house too of my grandma? Like, did you hear? That's definitely what she said when I had the radio on. It was too loud. When you get to my part, you can turn that off.
Oh my God. No, I wish I would have been there, because I would probably be as shady as you right now if I had been.
Not at all shady though, but okay. Thank you. All right. So we got the granny shade, the intentional but not super flashy. My other favorite shade, which is just like on the other end of the age spectrum, is the small child shade.
Girl.
You know, like those kids say the darndest things shade. Like, they don't know no better. They just being honest, but they just shady as hell and they just don't even know.
Listen. Okay. So yes, this is a type of shade that I understand on so many levels, right? Mm. So let's just start with me as a child. And I don't know where I got it from. My mother isn't an inherently shady person, but, you know, I grew up in California for a little bit as a child. So one day we're down, I think we're in Long Beach, like on the actual beach at the pier or whatever.
Oh, hey.
Hey. And my mother, knowing everybody and their mama, you know, we're just walking, and Snoop, as in Snoop Doggy Dogg, as in Snoop Lion, as in whatever the fuck he's being called these days.
DOWG.
DOWG, yes. 187 on an undercover cop, right?
Yes.
So Snoop comes up and he's met my mom like in passing before, and he's like, yo, what's up, B? Not B as in blood, don't get it twisted. Snoop is a Crip, but B because that's what my mom's name may or may not start with.
Okay.
He was like, oh, what's up, B? And so he picks me up and he's like, oh, this little girl's so cute. Like, damn, she kind of looks like you too. What does Shady Dez say? Shady Young Dez? Put me down. You don't know me.
Stop, girl. How old were you when this happened?
According to my mother, I was about 3.5.
Oh my gosh. So like oh my gosh. Like so much personality already together.
Yeah, right?
And did you know who Snoop Dogg was like at the time?
Absolutely not. Obviously, because I told this man to put me down. He didn't know me. And also that says something about the way that I was being parented too. Because like clearly I knew not to let strangers pick me up. So.
Right.
But I was shady.
Like. Shade like that, you don't develop it like that. You just happen into that. Like you must have been born shady. Like,
listen, girl, I was born shady, and that must be why my mama is so pale now. Like, she gonna kill me for saying that. Oh, but like, yo, I had to have been born shady.
Born beneath a willow tree.
Oh my God, yo,
that is so fucking shady, girl.
So shady. Like, yo, shout out to Snoop. I'm definitely gonna like tag him in this episode because like maybe he remembers me. Maybe he's like trying to reconvene in the same location. I'll apologize. My daughter will probably shade you this time, but at least it's not me.
I'm sorry, my side hurts. Oh my God, I can't believe you did Snoop Dogg like that.
Listen, you know what? And it's so funny too, because like my mom still tells that story. So like a couple years ago when I had brought one of my boyfriends home and he was talking about how he was a Snoop fan. First thing Dez's mom says, oh, you know Dez met Snoop, right?
And here goes oh my gosh, you did? Why didn't you tell me?
And she was like, and you know what she said? And he was like, no, what'd she say? And she was like, put me down. You don't know me. And I'm just sitting here like, really, Mom? We still got this just like chilling on the back burner, like just ready to throw out whenever.
She's ready. She's been stirring it, waiting for the right moment to serve it up.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. I love it. I love kids saying the darndest things and just looking out for themselves, looking out for number one. Because yeah, you did not know him. You did not know him at all.
I did not. Do you have any like examples of some shady children aside from me?
I've seen it, but none come to mind outside of that boy on the Vine video. And I hope you guys all know this. And if you don't, we're going to dig it up for you. But there's a video of some like teen, some old pizza face teen, poor guy. He got pimples, he got acne, and this poor baby points to his face and it's just like, you got eczema?
Oh.
And of course the guy's just like, I got what? And he's like, he enunciates eczema? Like, you got eczema? I was just like, oh, he's so cute because he's generally asking, he's concerned for the state of his face. And he's just like, you got the eczema?
Lord.
Like, I got that eczema too.
Eczema?
Eczema.
You got eczema?
Like, yeah, eczema?
Eczema. All right.
And it's like, it probably wasn't even intentional. Like, I'm certain it wasn't intentional, but like those kids can just say the things that just get right under your skin. And you're just like, forever, I'm going to have eczema.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. So like, okay, but here's the thing. When it comes to like small child shade, it's not always necessarily verbal, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So all right, in an effort to I'm really not disproving anything, but in an effort to just share that, you know, shadiness runs in my blood, so I do a very good job of not being shady. I'm just gonna tell you guys a little bit about my child, right? So my child is on a relatively strict diet. She's still fairly young, so she eats some solids, but like she gets like mostly organic everything when it comes to her food. So there are some things I don't allow her to eat. Meat is one of them. And she doesn't really get to eat some of the things that I eat because, let's keep it real, y'all, I don't always make the best decisions.
If I say anything, it would be shady. So I'm just going to...
Exactly. See, I knew it was coming and I could feel it and I was ready. And I was ready.
Unintentional. Okay, keep going.
So the other day, I'm sitting there, you know, with my Panda Express, my little nasty Panda Express. Yeah, because Panda Express is, it's trash. Panda Express is trash. Like, I admit to it. But, like, yo, when I'm like, I need something with some soy sauce and some something right now in the clutch, and I'm like, I can't get out the car, drive through. All right, here I am, Panda.
Yes, I'm with you.
I be there. So I get home with my Panda and my baby. And, you know, I'd already fed her. She's good. And I'm like, oh, finally, I get to eat my lukewarm orange chicken with my rice. And here comes Dez's baby crawling up like, oh, what's good, mama? You got the good stuff. You just gave me them avocados, but I see what you have.
And I want some of that.
Right. So she comes over and like she sees me eating and I'm like, no, mama, like, no, mommy can't give this to you. This isn't for you. No, it's okay, baby. Do you want some of this? Like, mommy can go get you. And I'm trying to get her more avocados. This child looks at me, looks away, looks back, and she is side-eyeing me for the rest of the time while I eat.
She's like,
I don't even, I don't even know that she blinked. I just see her, and she's like I'm sitting on this recliner that we have, and like I see her, she's holding onto the edge with one hand, and she's like probably like a foot away, but she's just looking at me out the corner of her eye, like the ultimate side eye. Like
the legitimate, like the literal side eye.
It's fine. I can let that go because it's like, you know what? I'm depriving you of something that you can smell. I feel you.
Yeah.
But what I can't get over is when I pick her up from like school, or I just pick her up in general and I'm holding her and she's like loving me and I'm like, oh, give me kisses. She looks me dead in my face, stares at me for a second, leans in as if she's going to give me a kiss, and then looks away.
Damn.
When I tell you.
Damn.
When I tell you that my child is shady and that she has no fucks to give, like she was born with a box of fucks that had negative fucks in it. So like
she was already
over time, already at a deficit. Over time, I'm gonna have to try to put some in there here and there, but she don't do shit but throw them out anyway. So it really doesn't matter.
My goodness. Well, I guess that's good. She ain't passing out kisses to nobody, but she definitely ain't giving none to her mom. Damn.
Exactly. No, that's that Aquarius shit I gotta watch out for.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for that because, my God. I'm mad that she gave you like the serious side eye for your food, though. She's like, I don't want no avocado. I want that.
Right. Oh. It's like either she side eyes me or she waits for an opportunity to pretend that she loves me so that she can stick her hand in it and try to shove it in her mouth real fast. That's the only reason that she knows what miso soup tastes like.
Oh.
But whatever.
Check her out. Okay.
Listen.
Okay.
Another episode.
Okay. Right. All right. So babies, they're so little. Do you think that like the shade that they are giving is intentional, or do you think it's unintentional and it's just like them expressing their feelings?
You know what? It's gotta be like unintentional. It's got to be.
And it just happens to be perceived as shade.
Yeah. I mean, because I don't think that, you know what? I'm not going to speak for my child, but I don't think that most babies go out of their way to be shady and intentionally shade anyone.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think they're just in it for like cuddles and playtime and food.
And definitely food.
For sure. But while we have like the intentional shade from like grannies and what we are going to perceive as unintentional shade from children, like there is that middle ground as a teenager and as an adult where you can be unintentionally shady / backhanded compliments.
Yeah.
Because I get those all the time.
Stop. Don't even. I have them for days.
Right? It's from parents, from colleagues, from friends, from podcast co-hosts.
Oh, yo. I didn't even see that one coming. So I'm like, I'm disappointed in myself. I was like, oh, she about to say college friend. Wait, did she just? Okay. She just
Shade. The shade is real. The shade is real. Yes. All right. So one of my favorite shady comments from somebody, from a peer or an elder, is that when you haven't seen somebody in a while and they see you, like imagine like 10-year high school reunion and somebody walks up to you and they're just like, oh my gosh, you just look so much skinnier than you used to be.
No.
Bitch.
Stop it. Yo. Oh my God. But like, okay, so there's that. But like, what if you're on the opposite end of that and someone's like, wow, your body is really filled out.
Like, excuse me?
You're like, I can't even.
Like, wait, what do you mean it's filled out? Like, man.
Oh my God.
See, like I'm having a moment of silence because like I just got a little PTSD from me getting those, like the filled out and the skinnier than I used to be, knowing that I've never been. Oh, I can't even. Okay.
Listen, that's crazy. Have you ever experienced the auntie shade?
Maybe.
Okay. So let me just tell you a little something. So it was shady as fuck. And I really hope that all of my cousins in all the states are listening to this because when I told them this story, they fucking lost it. So we're at my baby shower. Mm-hmm. Now I am about 8.5 months pregnant. And I go sit down because my auntie's like, Dez, come here. And so I walk over. She's like, hey, baby. And I'm like, oh, what's up, auntie? Like, thank you so much for coming, blah, 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 blah. She puts her arm around me. She's like, listen, when you're done having this baby and everything. And I'm like, yeah. I'm thinking she's going to be like, oh, I got something for you. Mm-hmm. She's like, I think you should lose a little weight so you can get yourself a man. And I'm like,
excuse me?
Hold. And I look down to make sure that I'm still pregnant and like that I look pregnant and then like it hasn't just like disappeared.
Right.
And I stop and I was like, yo. And I look at her. She's like, no. She's like, baby, I'm just saying, because you're going to want a man here soon and blah, blah, blah. And she didn't know any of the situation with like, she didn't know if I was with my baby daddy, nothing. She's just like, yeah, I want you to lose a little weight so you can get a man. And I just stopped. And I'm just like, I don't think she even meant to be shady. That's the thing. I don't think she meant to be shady. She thought she was really looking out for my well-being. Yeah.
It's rare that I'm rendered speechless.
At my baby shower, guys, while I'm 8.5 months pregnant.
Damn. How dare you?
Yo, my aunt.
Like the door. Like you can go.
The door. Yo. And this is not the same aunt that we were talking about in our last episode. Or the episode before last, cut them off, guys. This is a different aunt.
Okay, I was like, now I see why you had to cut her off. My God.
No. So yeah, it was crazy. But you know what? I have actually experienced worse. Backhanded compliments and or unintentional shade.
No, I'm sorry. That had to have been the pinnacle of backhanded compliments, unintentional shade. Like, I'm looking out for you advice nonsense. Like, it can't get any worse than that. It can't.
Oh, no, baby. It gets worse. So, Jasmine, listeners, everybody, you guys know that, like, I tend to date men from various ethnic groups.
Mm-hmm. Equal opportunity dater. Mm-hmm. EOD.
I wouldn't say that, but
Noted.
different episode. Different episode. But like I tend to date like, some West African men, specifically like Nigerian men.
Okay.
And one dude that I was speaking to,
Mm-hmm.
I had met him on Tinder, and we reached the point where I was like, okay, like, yeah, we can definitely converse on the phone. It's totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
So he calls me one night, and I'm talking to him for a minute. He's like, wow. And I'm just like, what? And he's like, your voice is more beautiful than your face.
Excuse me?
It's not funny. It's not funny.
Yes, it is.
No. So I'm sitting here and I'm like flabbergasted. Like, yo, he just told me that I look terrible. Because, my voice looks better than I look, like sounds better than I look. Hold on, son.
That was like just go ahead and put a paper bag over your head, and we're just going to date audibly, just like with our voices, because your voice is way better than your face. Way better. More beautiful.
And so I'm sitting there and I am shocked. Like, I am just shocked. So I'm like, you know what? I'm good. All right. Have a good night. Hang up. Block, blickety block. Like, you're not getting in touch with me. But I forgot Tinder. So he ends up sending me a message later that night, like apologizing profusely, like going in, like, you know what, and explaining himself to the point where I realized he wasn't trying to be shady. He just had that, like, back alley, fresh off the private jet way, girl, yeah, he had money, way of trying to say things and trying to compliment me, but it was hella backhanded.
Super, super backhanded. My gosh.
Yeah. I still feel the effects of that to this day. Like, I'm very cognizant of like, oh, do you think my face matches my voice? So.
Damn.
This is me.
All right. So, yeah, my statement earlier of how it couldn't get any more shady than your auntie telling you to lose weight so you can get a man. Yeah, he just trumped that. Oh, I said the T word. Sorry.
Oh, no. See?
Oh.
Booted. Time to recruit a new co-host.
If anyone's looking to co-host the podcast. See, there was some shade there, too.
Oh, man.
But yes, that was considerably shadier than what your auntie had said to you. My gosh. My examples of the other backhanded, unintentional, shady compliments would be the, oh my gosh, you grew into your face, your feet, your nose, your ears, whatever it is. You know what people say when you're a kid and you look a little awkward. It's like, oh, I'm so glad he grew into your teeth.
Into your teeth.
Come on now. There's some kids out there with some big old teeth and little bitty old faces.
That's true. Listen, I heard my great grandmother one time tell my uncle, oh, baby, I'm so glad you grew into your gums, so I know it's real.
Not the gums.
Listen.
Like, every time I think of, like, I forget where I saw it, but like Will Smith when he was younger, and his ears they are big, but I imagine they were bigger. I think somebody told him that, and it just stuck with me. Just like, yeah, that's the Auntie Shay that I know of. But yeah, all of it is completely outdone by the unintentional shade that is actually a compliment in other cultures.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, it was very real, Jasmine. It was very real.
Did it get any shadier after that? Were there any other like cultural lost in translation exchanges?
There were quite a few that I don't think we have time to delve into today because, listen, this boy was also a tree. Okay, so there's that.
An intentional tree?
I think he was both unintentional and intentional, but whatever, we don't talk no more, so there are reasons for that.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so let's talk trees. Yes. So anything that throws shade, be it an umbrella, some clouds, a tree, let's deem those the levels of shadiness. Right. Tree being the pinnacle, because like a willow is the shadiest of all trees out there. Like everything just goes from like the top to the bottom, like no sunlight gets in. The shadiest of shady.
The jasmine. Got it.
An example of shade. There we go. How much shade must a person throw to be deemed a tree? To me, in my opinion, I just think like everything that Dez is embodying right now is tree level.
Oh, yo. I am not a tree. I am a like fern at best.
Girl.
Right? Like I'm not a tree. Man. KMT. That means kissing my teeth, guys.
Okay.
I'm picking up on some UK slang, but
I was like, what is that? I don't know nothing about that. Not shade. I feel like I just need to like put that little qualifier in there every time I say something. That was not shade.
Yeah, it's almost like, I feel like you do need to put that in there. It's almost like, you know how years ago people used to use like the really offensive term where they'd be like, no, and I'm not going to say it.
I know just what you're saying.
know.
Yes. Like,
Yeah, I feel like it has to be like that.
just to clarify, just like, oh my gosh, XYZ, no shade.
Right. No shade.
All right. So to be deemed a tree, do you think somebody needs to like specialize in intentional shade, or if I were to embrace this tree ordainedness, since you are calling me a tree, like if I am to embrace it, like, is there like an amount of unintentional shade that has to be given to be qualified as a tree?
No, I don't necessarily think so, because I think that, you know, you've got people who are unintentionally shady because they're just shady by nature. So I hope you guys got that reference.
Oh, I just got it.
Yes.
I was thinking just like, oh my gosh, like naughty by nature, just like cross out the naughty and put shady, but shady nature, trees growing nature.
All of the above. Yo, I did it a few times for y'all. But anyway, yeah, I think that there are people who are shady by nature and they don't necessarily mean to be that way, but they could still be a tree. Because, yo, if you really out here shading everybody, Mr. Nigeria.
Nope.
Again, yo, our Nigerian fans are going to probably go in on me at some point because I'm constantly calling people out. But like, yeah, shout out to, never mind, I'm not going to say no names. But yeah, I think you could definitely be a tree. But I think that at the same time, I think it's a lot easier for the intentionally shady people to be trees much more quickly, or for us to notice that they're trees more rapidly than we notice, you know, the others.
The unintentionals. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think the intentionals are definitely like willows mostly. And then you've got the intentionally shady, or the unintentionally. The intentionals are willows. The unintentional are probably like what? Like apple trees?
Like oak trees, you know, with the big leaves and stuff.
Oak tree, yeah.
If we had to just throw a type of tree on there, just yeah.
Exactly.
So how do you deal with shady people?
Jasmine, do you want to ask me that question? Because like, I just feel like I feel like that was just a shady question, because I feel like you're trying to incriminate me because you know I get it popping.
Hey, I'm willing to answer it too. Like, we're going to incriminate the both of ourselves. So,
okay. When it comes to shady people, I typically don't tolerate it unless I'm getting paid to.
Oh, okay.
So when it comes to the shade with you, I'm like, listen, we got a business together. I got to put up with it because we out here getting coins. Because you shady all the time.
Okay.
Be wearing on my mental health. You know what? I need to start seeing a therapist so I can try to get some, like, you know, file a claim of sorts, get some unemployment, get something.
Stop it. From me. From the podcast. My gosh. It ain't that bad.
Yo, I gotta do something, because listen, nah. But yeah, I feel like with shady people, you either gotta fire shade back at them, or you've got to decide that it's just not worth it. Because there are people like my aunt who are unintentionally shady, and I didn't have to say anything to her. But you know who I did say something to?
Who?
Her daughter, who proceeded to be like, no, you did not come up into this. Like, she was going in, and I love my cousin for that.
Oh, going in on her mom.
On her mom, not on me.
Okay, good. I was about to say, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait.
No. Wait.
Like, that's shady on another level. My goodness.
Yeah. So I just feel like, you know, you really have to pick your battles, because sometimes I'm gonna keep it trill. There's nothing better than firing back some like lit, astronomical LA fire shade at somebody.
Boy.
Right. That rolling up the hills fire, like dynamite shade. There's nothing better than coming back with that when somebody just threw you a little, you know, cigarette lighter shade.
Oh, the levels to the shade, man. The levels to the flame.
Levels to these bezels.
That's we're not quoting. Okay.
Oh,
Anywho.
damn it.
All right. For me and how I handle shade, like I think shade is up to the listener or to the receiver.
Yeah.
And their interpretation. So I know like I'm like already like painfully shy. So when somebody is being like intentionally shady and I know it, like, and it's like 129% obvious that they are being intentionally shady, that's where I'm with you. Like I'm picking my battles. Is it my grandmother? I'm gonna laugh and I'm gonna roll my eyes. I'm gonna be like, whatever, grandma. And I'm gonna put my headphones on and listen to my rap music.
Right.
If it's somebody that I don't have to deal with, like somebody on the street, somebody on Tinder, somebody in A, B, or C, I'm gonna walk away because I don't need this. I don't have to take this.
Right.
Like you mess with my mental. But like on the other hand, there's that unintentional shade. And so like how this whole conversation came to be, as Des mentioned earlier, like I edit the podcast. So I am hearing our voices, our conversations all the time when I'm editing. And while I'm removing like laughs and clicks and other things, like I hear like the small comments, and they sound like aside comments where normally if you were face to face and somebody were to say something like, oh my God, or at like that volume or that level, you would interpret that as shade. In addition to some other physical things that are happening. Are they rolling their eyes? Are they looking up? Are they looking away? Like, are they dancing on 1 or 2 feet? Like, there are other context clues that go into it that you will tell you if it's intentional shade or not.
Right.
So when I'm listening to the audio, it's like I hear what I would usually interpret as shade, but I'm not exactly sure. And in those instances, like I would confront, I hate saying the word confront in this type of instance, but like I would just ask the person, or I would just like say, hey, like I edit the audio and I noticed that when I'm talking about something and it kind of goes on for a little long, you kind of get exasperated and you go like, oh my gosh, at a level that I can't include in the podcast. So here I am confronting the shady person because I've interpreted something as shade, and that is when it's all cleared up. Like, no, it's not me being shady. It's me just like trying to not interrupt you while you are speaking, but still try to throw in my comment and just let you know that I am listening and I'm with you for the story. And see, like I thought she was the shadiest of shades, like a big old like a Louisiana swamp full of willow trees shade. Stop. Like Eve's Bayou level of shade, because that's what I was getting. Like we've been doing this podcast like for forever now, so it's just like I'm hearing this all the time, so it's just like epic levels of shade. And because I wasn't sure if that was intentional, if it was just like subconscious, or if that was just something I was misinterpreting, I wouldn't know without asking.
Oh.
See that, did y'all hear that? Oh.
I said, oh man.
At like a
it
level
was intentional,
that was
y'all.
Inaudible.
It was intentional. And
see, I'm leaving it in so because I'm making reference to it, but like you couldn't even really hear it. But I heard it. I hear it on.
She's gonna hear it 30 times when she edits, and she's gonna replay it like, yeah, this bitch, she really did come for me, and she did come for me. She gonna call in everybody, all her friends. Y'all, listen to this. Is she being shady or not? Is she being shady?
And I could have made that whole point like more concise, but I was just trying to like make it super long winded so Des would make that sound. But yes, like, there are times where you can.
And you're shady for doing that.
I was just trying to
shade monster.
Just trying to make an example. I'm not being shady. I just need an example. I'm sorry. But yes, there are, that is how I deal with it. I'm either cutting them off, or I'm just like shutting up and dealing with it. Or if it's somewhere in between, I'm going to ask them, was that their intention? That way I know to either classify you as a willow or as a oak or as a palm tree.
So you Jasmine them.
I Jasmine them.
Yes. For those of you who haven't picked up on that, you call them out on their shade. So she'd just be out here shading by calling other people shady. So it's fine.
Can a shader shade another shader?
Yes. You shady person.
Okay. Well, at least I'm direct about it.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I really get the feeling that you and I are not as shady as we think, maybe. Or maybe one of us is more shady than the other. And I would really like to know what everyone else thinks. So I think it's best that we kind of like put this out to the general public, i.e. our listeners, and have them hit us up and tell us who they honestly think is the shadiest person on the show. Like, who is the shadiest host? Dez, the angel, or Jasmine, the tree?
I'm still waiting on you to throw that no shade qualifier on that on your lead up to this.
I'm not throwing it on because you know what? I meant shade this time.
Okay. Shady. Are you sure that you're an angel? Because
no, you're right.
Them some real big wings, because they are throwing hella shade down here. Angel Dez.
Yo.
Shady.
You find the positives and you turn it into a negative shade.
Shade master. Yes.
Oh my God.
All right. So yes, definitely let us know who's the shadiest of them all. Me, the pine tree of shade.
Get out of here.
Or Dez, the bayou full of willow trees.
The bayou. I'm not even a tree anymore. I'm a bayou, like wrapped and like intertwined with trees. Yo.
And vines. And gators.
Oh, Lord. Wow. So I'm so shady that gators can attack and nobody would ever know. That's what you just tried to say.
Essentially, you shady. You were shady.
Listen, yes. Whatever.
Okay. In addition to letting us know who the real shade master is over here, I am curious to know if you too identify as a shady tree, and if so, what kind of tree are you?
So yeah, let us know, guys. Like, let us know who's shady. Do you identify as a tree? Hit us up on them interwebs, you know what I'm saying? The Instagram at EBPR Podcast, Twitter, EBPR Podcast, Facebook, search for us. And you know who you're looking for? EBPR Podcast.
No way.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah, hit us up on our website. Just let us know.
Yes. So yes, thank you for our shady chat. # no shade.
No shade. All right. So.
Yes.
Yeah. We've been negative this whole episode because we've just been out here calling people out. Granny, Auntie, Jasmine.
Destiny.
She used my government, y'all. She used my government.
You were going to omit yourself from that list of shaders. Yes, you were.
She didn't even call me Dez. She called me by my government. I'm surprised the middle name didn't come out. Anyway, let's hit some positivity. Talk about our shout outs. Jasmine, do you want to share the shout outs this week?
Yes, indeed. All right. Top countries this past week. But before we even get into it, oh my gosh, thank you guys so much for all the love and the support. Yes. I just feel like so warm under this, like, while yes, I'm in the icy cold shade of Dez's willow tree, I just feel so warm and just like snuggled up in your warm embrace of love and support. And I just really want to say that I appreciate it. Thank you. Whew. Okay. Top countries.
Ooh.
The USA, of course, US of A. Always. Our dear friends in France.
Merci. You almost said bonjour.
I did. I was just going to say like hello, but thank you will do. And thank you will suffice. Bonjour. Oops, damn it.
Oh, God.
I know. Mercy. So sorry. All right. In addition to the US and France, we have our friends in the UK. Hello. And thank you.
Hello. Thank you, right? Thank you, yes. Yeah. Thank you, yeah.
Oh, I'm impressed by your UK impersonation.
I'm not going to tell you how I wrap that up and how I'm developing that. But yeah. Okay. In addition, we have some dear friends in the Netherlands that are also showing us some love. So thank you. Appreciate it. You want to get into our top cities? Of course. Okay. And I said, of course. It was a joke, guys. I mean, of course. Our top cities for this week are San Angelo, Texas. So I'm also going to say that in English. San Angelo, Texas. Shout out to you guys.
Yes.
Berlin, Germany. Hey, that's where my white side comes from. So shout out to y'all.
Damn.
Shout out. And then Seattle, Washington. Wash poppin'. And I think there might be a reason for that, but I'll let you get to that in a minute, Jasmine. And our top listeners for this week, I love this part because I love like when I recognize names. So again, we have Christopher C. What's good, Chris? How you doing?
Hello, lovely.
Hello, lovely. Oh, hello, love. How are you? I sound like a white British person. Let me chill. Like the black British really be sounding like mad sexy. So stop. Shay J, shout out to you. And Alma R. We love you all. We love you all. Now, Jasmine.
Yes.
There's a special set of shout outs that you want to give this week. So I'm going to roll this over to you.
All right. Thank you. I want to give some special shout outs to my podcast friends. I'm going to stop with all that. Yes. A special shout out to my podcast friends. First, our dear friends at the Rugged Angel Podcast. Hello.
Hey.
And then I want to give like a ultra special shout out to like everybody from PodCon. This past weekend, there was a podcasters convention in Seattle. I mentioned it last week briefly, but like this weekend was the damn thing, and it was awesome. So I wanted to give a special shout out to everyone that I met, all the podcasts that I interacted with, and I have like a list of podcasts to listen to. So woo! Some of the ones that come to mind, we have the Baked and Awake podcast.
Hi, Steve.
I know. Hey, Steve. Hey.
Hey.
Our MCM this week, by the way.
Man Crush Monday this week, guys. Go check him out. And when I say go check him out, I mean just go listen to his podcast because Steve is not on the market. Just want to throw that out there.
Right.
I respect you.
Yeah.
All right.
Respecting that. Yes.
Yeah.
Then we have Unreasonable Fridays, Elise, Miss Bacon, if you nasty.
Yes.
So right. Love her. So fun. So fun. And she had on this. Okay, I'm gonna let the nerd out really quick. During PodCon, she was wearing these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle boots with like the purple Ninja Turtle on it. I think that was
dope.
Was that Donatello? I think. Ooh. Was Leonardo blue? I know Michelangelo was orange. Raphael was red. One of the other two, them. But yeah, those boots were like so awesome. I was just like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
So nerdy.
That sounds amazing.
I know, right? So awesome. Our other podcast friend that I want to shout out is Derek from Single Simulcast. Hey. We had a good time just kicking it and laughing. We went to a session on voice acting, and we were doing like all kinds of like crazy stuff with our bodies. And it was like the end of the day, and he was just like, I'm gonna leave you to it, girl. Bye-bye. So yeah, I will always carry that memory with me everywhere I go.
Oh my God.
It was so funny. But it was cool. Anywho, other podcasts I want to shout out, Karen and Rod from The Black Guy Who Tips. Like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
Sat in on a live taping of their show, and I've listened to a couple of them beforehand. Like, I've actually listened to a lot, but like that day I listened to a bunch of them just to prepare myself for what the live show was going to be. And there was nothing to prepare me for it. Like, my sides hurt so much from laughing. Like, they are so stinking funny. Like, check them out.
Yes.
Got a picture with them that's on our IG. And the last podcast I want to shout out is Last Name Basis with Cheska Lee and Patrick. Oh my gosh. I love Francesca, and I definitely embarrassed myself. You know how last week we were talking to Queen Thrifty, and I was just like, how do you like keep your composure when you meet like a celebrity? And yeah, I embarrassed myself. I did.
I'm not surprised.
See, here's the thing, and I don't mean to deviate too much, but like, I've met like famous people, but you know, like when you meet somebody who was just like regular schmegular, but like doing a damn thing, like you just get like, all just like, oh yes, like that's how I was. Because I was like, you know, like Jessica's regular. She's just a regular girl. She work out. She got a dog. She lived in New York City. Like regular smegular, just like me. But she is out here just like making an impact.
Yes.
And yeah, I embarrassed myself. Anywho, shout out to all of those lovely people from PodCon. And if I met you at PodCon, I didn't give you a shout out, call me out. Let me know. It'll be a shade-free zone.
Oh.
You let me know if I forgot, and I'll give you a shout out next time.
Yeah, y'all don't have to shade her. Just hit me up and tell me, yo, Jazz forgot to shout me out, and I will shade her for you. So don't even trip.
And she will do it so well. So well. Okay, yes, that is it for the shout out corner. Thanks so much. All right. But before we wrap up this episode, we wanted to share a special offer with you, our lovely listeners. Our sponsor, Audible, is offering a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial, to give you the opportunity to check out their services. Did you read anything good this week?
Well, I actually am reading something. It's entitled Not Obvious, How to Think Different, Curate Ideas, and Predict the Future by Rohit Bhargava. I apologize if I butchered his name, but the book is really great. It's got a lot of really great ideas on curating ideas and just kind of thinking differently, which really helps when, I'm trying to rechannel my energy and think about the many ways in which Jasmine may or may not have shaded me. So this book is really helping and I love it.
I see what you did there. Shady. Like the ball you are. Yes, indeed, child. Yes, indeed.
Oh, my Lord.
All right, this week I am trying to escape from the shade and find a happy place where I can just like laugh freely in a judgment-free zone from Dez.
Shade.
Yes. But this week I am reading The Last Black Unicorn by Tiffany Haddish. Oh my gosh. She is so funny. I've been watching her press junkets where she's just been going to like Ellen and the Daily Show, Trevor Noah. That's what it's called with Trevor Noah. She's just been like everywhere pumping out this book. And let me tell you this, I know it's going to be so great. I cannot wait. As soon as I'm done editing, I'm jumping into this book.
Yeah, I love her. So you have to let me know how it is because I definitely need to like give it a listen.
Okay. You and I both.
Hey, all right. Well, to download your free audiobook today, please go to audibletrial.com/EBPR podcast. Again, that's audibletrial.com/EBPR podcast for your free audiobook.
Indeedy. And we also want to remind you of our special offer from our friends at Texture. They're offering a free 14-day trial to use their service. Check it out at ebprpodcast.com/texture. Thank you all so much for listening. And, if you're not already, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the episode. We're now on Stitcher, so definitely, subscribe. Wink.
Yes. So subscribe and, rate us, review us wherever you can, whenever you can. We really appreciate your feedback. We got some really positive feedback over the weekend. So thank you all so much to those of you who have left reviews already. We publish a new episode every Wednesday. So if you need a little more from Jasmine, me, or the tree formerly known as Jasmine, check out our website at ebprpodcast.com.
I'm dead. Damn. All right, I'm gonna back away. I'm backing away.
Go get you some warmth, girl. Go get you some warmth. You've been in the shade for too long.
So long. It's so cold under here. All right, until the next time.
All right, I'll holla at you.
Holla.
Bye.
Bye-bye.